In, and it is my great pleasure to now introduce Carol Traeger-Cowan from the University of Strathclyde, who is, I don't know, Carol, what you're going to be talking to us about. Please tell us something exciting.
Well, hello, I'll share my screen. And so I am a reader in the Department of Physics at the University of Strathclyde. And over the years, my public engagement activities include lectures, articles, websites, quizzes, workshops, exhibits, Science Street busking, Science Street tours, and producing kit for schools. I'm an enthusiastic contributor to activities held at the Glasgow Science Centre and activities held during the Glasgow Science Festival and Explorathon, and I work together with colleagues across the University of Strathclyde, Scotland, UK, and the world. And I would say that it is wonderful to work in partnership with people. I just want to point out some people in this, in my pictures here. So I do need a laser pointer. Derek Sherlaw is from the Glasgow Science Centre, and he taught me a lot about public engagement, and he introduced me to Science Street busking, one of the most scary things I've ever done. And Ronnie Brown introduced me to a lot of wonderful ideas for workshop activities. And here we have an exhibit we've built for the Glasgow Science Centre, and I could go on, but I've only got 5 minutes. So I thought, what should I talk about given that I've only got 5 minutes? So I decided I would just talk about one activity, which I do with my colleague Jochen Bruckbauer, and this is Science on the Streets. So this started as a walking tour and accompanying website around Glasgow city centre, exploring, for example, how the pioneering work of James Watt sparked the Industrial Revolution and how a gifted Scottish chemist, Thomas Graham, invented dialysis. We also visit the Ramshorn graveyard, where we describe the measures taken to stop Glasgow's body snatchers. We describe the first use of electricity in Glasgow, including its use in an attempt to bring an executed murderer back to life. And our motivation was to engage Glaswegians with science through the pride in their city, with the first tours held during National Science and Engineering Week. And so here is a map showing where some of the places we visit. For example, we visit the James Watt statue and the Thomas Graham statue. I love to tell students that one of Thomas Graham's students actually paid for this statue. We visit the Ramshorn graveyard, and we point out the cages over the graves. And these were there to stop the body snatchers, where bodies were taken so that the next generation of surgeons could be trained on dead bodies rather than them learning on live ones. And we always end our tours with a gory story of the use of electricity, that's galvanization, to bring people back to life. And galvanization was performed on Matthew Clydesdale, a murderer, actually in Glasgow. And this actually took place at a public lecture within Glasgow University when it was located along the High Street. So what I wanted to talk to you about today was how Science on the Streets has evolved. We started off with a walking tour and a website, and this led to more tours. We developed one around the Glasgow Cathedral and the Necropolis, and another around Glasgow Green. We got coverage in newspapers. I wrote articles. I have an article published in the Materials Research Society Bulletin, which was written to accompany a conference visiting Glasgow, but I've also been approached by historians from across the world saying, could you please send me a picture of Thomas Graham or whatever to go in articles they are writing. We've been on the radio. One of our participants wrote a blog about coming on our tour. Now, when we're delivering our tours to school pupils, they don't necessarily want to listen to history stories. So we've actually also developed activities. For example, what I should have pointed out, one of the things we visit is the standards of measure, which are located on the wall of the Glasgow City Chambers. And we have the standard inch and foot and yard. And we have the children calibrate the string against these imperial measurements, and then we can have them go on to determine the height of, say, the James Watt statue. When we're in Glasgow Green, there's a rather nice bridge, a suspension bridge, which we can gently march our school pupils across, and we can get it to resonate. And we also have them measure the pH puddles. In addition, we've been asked to provide entertainment for science conference delegates. And we've also created a talk based on the tour, because not everyone can come and walk around the city or take the hike up the necropolis. And also in Scotland, it sort of gets rather dark in the evenings in the winter. So it is easier to take our talk across Scotland. And we've delivered this to clubs and societies across Scotland. We also share the material, share our research. So for example, Dr. Nina Baker has used some of what we've developed in her Geek Walk, and she's taught me things, and I've added that to our tour. And our material has also appeared in commercial tours. So we've run tours during National Science and Engineering Week, the Glasgow Science Festival, Merchant City Festival, for the Summer Academy Head Start, the Engineering Education Scheme, the Women's Engineering Society. We've even delivered it to a school group from France, and I was going to deliver to a school group from Amsterdam, but then COVID hit. And this October, we're delivering a tour around Glasgow Green for the IOP Big Bounce Festival. So that just leaves me to say thank you to all the people that have made the tour possible. So we've had support from other scientists, ranging from undergraduate students through to, well, a wide range of people within the department. Susan Treisman, who was the director of drama at Strathclyde, taught me a lot on how to publicize what we do, and also helped me with presentation. We even videoed an actor who played the part of Thomas Graham. And I'm also grateful to everyone who's provided us with funding. So with that, I will stop, because I'm sure I'm now well over 5 minutes, but thank you.